Hello everyone watching at home, welcome to Adelaide Eternal, bringing you our monthly challenge. This is the Highlander challenge for the month of May. I am Sarven McLinton, in the booth with me is Beckett, Wolfe.
Good day, guys.
We have a match up here between Tristan Cook on the left, and he is on a Mardu kind of aggro deck. And then on the right we have Jack Biermann, and he is on a busted artifact-based deck. So let's take a look at Jack's list first. Jack is actually the winner of the Adelaide Eternal Legacy Cup.
Champion.
Yeah, big champ here.
That's why we got him on for round one. We thought, let's get the brass on.
Yep, and speaking of brass, check this list out. So this is one very, very brassy list. It is not mono brown, so it's not just all colourless. It is actually a blue deck, which also has colours in it. So it's kind of like a two-colour. You know how when you have these kind of decks and you're like, oh, wingdings?
What's a wingding?
Wingdings. You know, the Mana Cost of Thought Nazi et al.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it's probably the case that he doesn't have Thought Nazi. Let's have a look. What has he got? No, it is a traditional artifact deck. All right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Because
Yeah.
a lot, you get to then play, less islands and more like Academy Ruins and stuff like that. Lands that do things that tap for colourless, which dilutes your ability to consistently get mana. So you are sort of just playing two colours, aren't you?
In a way, and especially when you need to cast like Reality Smasher and Thought Nazi and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the case here. Instead, it's the Antiquities War. So the Antiquities War is a sweet card that allows you to basically use the ultimate of Tezzeret the Seeker and make all of your artifacts 5/5s that just crunch into the red zone and kill your opponent.
Well, it is Tez. It's Tez's ability up, right? Is it up or down? Whatever. It's Tez's ability up, then Tez's ability up, and then Tez's ult.
Different Tezzes. So it's the Tez ability of the blue
black
Tez.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
So you blue black Tez, then Tez Seeker ult.
Yeah. So it's a hybrid. It's pretty sweet.
But it's also guaranteed, as opposed to a lot of Planeswalkers, which you do it, you activate, then they get swung or removed. This is like a bit harder to remove, and they can't swing at it. So you're just always going to get your Tez.
Yeah, get your Tez on. So we'll see whether or not he gets his Tez on in the game. Let's switch over to Tristan Cook's list. So Tristan's been brewing this one for a little bit. He really, really loves his Mardu colours. So if it's black, white, or red, he's all over it. And he has made various mid-range decks with those colours, but this one is a far more aggressive slant. So we've got things like Dark Confidant, which are low to the ground and force you to have a low curve, and so he's taken advantage of that low curve with things like Mox Jet, Skull Clamp and the like, cheap removal, cheap creatures, even things like Pack Rat that can provide some staying power late in the game even though they cost a very low investment. And the top of the curve really is Marquesa the Queen.
I remember
Queen Marquesa.
I remember asking Tristan, why are you in Mardu? Like, what do you get? Because he's posting really good results. And I'm like, yeah, like all the cards in fine. I'm like, what do you get out of playing Mardu over something else? And he said, well, you lose the dog, which is a big pain. And to be honest,
huge loss,
he said, to be honest, I don't think there's much reason. Maybe Queen Machisma, but that's about it. That's about it. But the Queen
is a big draw card,
Queen's
isn't it?
really good, yeah. But, like everything in these colours is really good. You do miss out on the dorks, though, but it's a sweet list. All the cards are so sweet.
Well, this one, yeah, because he's aggro, he doesn't even need the dorks. That's more so the mid-range brews that he's been doing. But this one is very, very aggressive. It's got Goblin Guide, and it's got a very, very low curve. It's got Mother of Runes to protect these little critters, and will otherwise play out essentially like an aggro deck that can occasionally go wide. Because
he can get like a little Caracas-y, Gonti.
Yeah,
in playtesting, he Gonti Caracas a couple of times versus me.
He's got the new Cranko Tinny Boy. He's all gets all swole, and then he makes a team. That's basically the text of the card.
Cranko Tin Man.
Yeah. If only he had a heart, though. Let's have a look at the match. Down the match, the players have drawn their hands.
Who's favourite? I actually don't mind Tristan because I think red, black, white is good.
So that's a hand with a slow land in it, Shambling Vent, but it's got Bob on turn 2, which is really good. That's a fantastic place to be. And this hand is a turn 1 win.
Is that a Mishra's?
Mishra's Workshop. Voltaic Key, Time Bolt.
Yeah, so there, but
Monk's
he's got his
Opal.
dance. Oh, he's got the Monk's Opal. Has he got the artifacts? Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Here we go. Mishra's Workshop, 3
Mental
mana.
misstep.
2 mana goes on this. 0 mana on the Opal. Let's take infinite turns.
Yeah.
Good game. All right, we're Adelaide Eternal. We'll see you in that. No, wait a second. That's just game 1.
So let's go to sideboards.
Look at those sideboards. So, for anyone who's in doubt about the power level of artifacts, just in general, things like Dak Faden, Colligan's Command, and Braid have been printed of late, making artifact decks very vulnerable. However, if you're able to leverage those artifacts and go off, go ridiculous as soon as possible, tinkering on turn 2 or, I guess, Time Bolt winning on turn 1. If you just do any of these kind of things, it justifies the slight fragility of artifacts.
Going to sideboards for realsies, though. Let's look at the Mardu list. I was about to say I think it's favoured because it's got like a lot of good interaction, like Colligans and Braids and stuff, and it can pressure the life total. Sideboards has even got more. It won't matter in a game like that.
He's got nothing.
Well, he's got
sideboard.
Hang on. He's got Wear Tear. He's got Duress. He's got Thoughtseize. He's got.
Keep looking because there's nothing else there.
What's Attrition? I don't even know what that is.
Attrition is a black enchantment. It's like black, colourless, and you can sacrifice a creature to destroy a non-black creature, and it's got some kind of activation cost on it too. It's kind of an EDHE card, but it seems pretty good with his creatures that have staying power or wide creatures, like the goblin tokens off Krenko and the like. But it's definitely not going to come in here. Instead, he's going to bring in Wear, Tear, Duress, Thoughtseize, and proceed to Cry Phase, I reckon.
Cry Phase? Oh,
yeah.
He's on the play now. Oh, he was on the play then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, take out Shambling Vent? Shambling Vent was really underperformed in that game.
Well, it was the only card that actually made a dent in the game in any way, so it's actually seen some play. So it is possible though that aside from that freak occurrence, Tristan can get out on the front foot, be on the play, have one of these turns where he goes 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4, and you just run away with the game.
Does Jack know what Tristan's on?
I believe he knows he's on Mono
sideboards?
Shambling Vent.
Mono Shambling Vent.
Yeah.
What would you side in if your opponent's playing 75 Shambling Vents in Highlander?
Okay, if that's the case, I'd probably call the judge first, and then if the judge allows it, I'll say that's
based
probably
on the information you received.
That's probably okay, can beat. Let's have a look. He has things like
Pause for the dramatic effect.
It looks like both of these guys are going to be running back there. Mostly they're set their 60s, because this sideboard does not really
Upheaval
against the aggro deck with turn 1, turn 2,
I like
turn 3.
Commit to Memory, although it doesn't feel like a sideboard card to me.
It is. This sideboard is not built against aggro. It's basically going to be Khan, Sion Aversa, and Padim count.
There's only so much you can have in Mono Blue Splashing Mud.
Oh, yeah. Mono Blue Splashing Mud has some serious issues with aggro, and what it does instead
He should at least
is just
be running
off.
Hydro, right? Hydro and Bleb to Bleb.
Yeah, so if there's any kind of Beb variance, they probably... I think he's just planning on the fact that if there's an aggro deck out there, he just goes off faster than they can. So the aggro deck tries to kill them on turn 5, and he's like, well, you've just done nothing against me. I've done nothing to you for the first couple of turns, and now here's a Wormcoil Engine, and deal with that. I think he's probably favoured against aggro anyway, so...
I don't know about that. I still really like Tristan. I mean, let's be real. He's not going to turn 1 win. This is Highlander, not Vintage. Even Vintage Time Vault struggles to turn 1 win consistently. So, that's a freak occurrence. I was playing Time Vault at this tournament, and I didn't turn 1 Time Vault any times.
Yeah, clearly you don't have too few Mishra's Workshops in your deck.
Yeah, obviously that was my issue. I actually, anyway, I won't go into it because I think I play later, so talk about that
feature match somewhere.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like Commit to Memory in Highlander. I've not seen it. I think it's a really playable card, but it doesn't seem very sideboardy. I wonder what Jack's logic here is.
Yeah, you could get him in the comments section, see what his thoughts are.
Please let me know. Otherwise, they're all pretty good. I like Blue Sun's Earth. That's an interesting one. Does he have some infinite mana combo or just a lot of mana combo?
Yeah, usually these kind of decks can make infinite mana with Rings of Brighthearth. So it's like a very EDH-y type of combo. So I don't know, can you spot that in there? Oh wait, actually the players are ready to go. So let's have a look and see what they're actually doing. Looks like it's just a bunch of cutting and no Thug Life don't even need to mull. Win on turn 1. Who needs a London Mulligan when you're...
Well, there was a lot of sideboards, which implies to me that they've done more than nothing, and that Jack also knows what Tristan's on.
Fair.
But you know what? Thank you to Tristan for scooping. Really, technically, he could have and should have seen what, is he on straight colours? Is he on, Splinter Twin Time Vault? Like, what is his Time Vault combo?
Yeah, it would have been pretty depressing to watch, right?
Yeah, that's right. So thank you for that. That was a sweet hand from Tristan.
Oh, he has brought in Upheaval.
And that's a sweet hand from Jack.
Yeah, this is actually a game.
This is a real
like
game.
A Metalworker, and if the Metalworker survives, he goes crazy with, extra 4 mana.
But turn 1 Thoughtseizes into turn 2 him is brutal. And as you say, on Jack's side, I really like Metalworker, although versus Thoughtseize him being able to, I don't think you take it, you just take everything else. And either him's going to hit it or it's going to hit other things that are most likely going to hit 2 out of 3 artifacts. So
yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'm still leaning towards Tristan.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know the result.
No, nor do I, actually. So this is Inventors Fair, Talaria West, Upheaval.
So Upheaval's from the sideboard.
Yeah, I see. Metalworker, Mox Opal, and Grim Monolith. So it's pretty
not
great
actually.
hand.
It is really good. Although
on turn 2,
yeah,
like not turn 1. It's really good on turn 2.
If
so turn 2 Grim Monolith.
If you can hit like an artifact land here, then it's pretty bang as a mash.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but
I don't think I know what it means either.
I think this is a strong play. Just taking the Grim Monolith to just deny a good turn 2 because
Mox Opal's not going to be able to get online without Grim Monolith now, and
Monolith powers paradoxical outcome, so it's pretty great at doing that.
Especially after the him, as I said. I'm really interested in what this him hits, right?
Yeah.
What a fun card him to Turek is. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree.
Definitely 50% of the people at the table have a lot of fun when that him to Turek.
Oh, come on, no. So... I mean, it's it's interesting because it's like a bit of luck variant,
Yeah, let's have a look at what. Okay, turn 1, basically nothing much.
Not
happens.
as good as the last game. Not as good as the last game.
Now, one nice thing to note is that. Obviously the him coming out here, but one nice thing to note is that Tristan has Caracas as one of his points in his deck, and actually his deck is absolutely packed to the rafters with legends. And by packed to the rafters, I mean about half of his creatures are legends. About half of his creatures, I mean maybe a third of his creatures.
Oh, there's enough. No, there's enough. There's enough. As I said, in playtesting with me, he guntied me like 3 times. So.
Oh yeah, seems good. And then he's got these kind of hate bears like Kumbal. Then he's got Vile Smasher that hurts their face.
Krenko, yeah.
Yeah, he's got Gonti, like you said, and Queen Marquesa as well.
Yep. Oh, it's relevant. People forget about the do it on your own thing.
Yeah. Alrighty, what do we hit? What is it? It's a new pickup. It's the Mishra's Bauble, and then it is the thing that gains life.
The hand is known.
That gains life.
The hand is known.
Yep. All known information now. And by known information, we mean he's not going to be doing anything for a while. Like literal nothing.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be one-sided if Tristan can commit a threat to the board, which he does. Probably one of the greatest draft threats. We are drafting right now, right? So this is one of the powerhouses of Return to Ravnica draft.
Sarven and I have been talking about my deck list, and he's like, and I'm like, it's a good card, and he's like, in draft. And I'm like, I've been playing with that. Like, that's a decent card. And then Sarven goes, in draft.
Yeah. Yeah, this all makes sense. Yeah. I'd definitely draft that. I'd never sleeve it up in Highlander. Savagery, mono savagery at Adelaide.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
That's petrified, buried, ruiny thing. It's like a land that gets a land back from the graveyard or untaps. Yeah, this deserted temple is one that untaps a land. This one's petrified field. It's the one that returns a land from the graveyard. Usually returning your academy ruin, Tolaran Academy.
Hanging Back is a card I'm not a massive fan of, even in artifacty decks.
Oh, really?
I just find that like it's either swinging or getting swole, and it's not doing both. And it's like a mana commitment, and it still dies to like exile effects, and yeah, I'm not a massive fan.
You know who's a massive fan?
Who?
Drew Carter.
Yeah.
Drew Carter's big on it. He loves playing it in like control decks where he just plays it for a blocker, and then he makes 2 little Thopters, and then he blocks again, and then he blocks again, and then by that point he's taken over the game.
I'll pay that. I mean, look, Drew and I have been working on a deck together.
Yeah, you might get to see that featured a little bit later.
Yeah, and I know he's had it. He tweaked it towards the end a lot more than I did.
So what do you think about playing the Mox Opal?
He's done it so that he can hang it back. Activate Hang It Back.
Right, okay. So specifically just to activate the Hang It Back?
So obviously it's worse with the Metalworker because you want to keep it in hand. And if there's any artifacts you're going to keep in hand, it's a Mox Opal because it costs 0. But he's done it for this Hang It Back.
I don't think I Council's Judgment Metalworker.
I think I Council's Judgment Hang It Back.
Because if your opponent plays the Opal, what it's telegraphing is, well, I don't really have a Wormcoil Engine in hand that I need to use 2 mana on to reveal my Opal to, so it's possible.
But maybe, I agree, I would hit the Hang It Back, because Hang It Back, I know I was just ragging on it.
Yeah, but he's invested the whole turn to play
and it's quite good
mana.
in this. He should have tapped Mox Opal in response there, by the way. I guess it doesn't matter too much, but anyway, because he wants to go to blocks here. But you're not going to block it as a 1/1, so you might as well activate it in response to Council's Judgment, right?
Yeah,
because one of those artifacts is going to get done. So
for sure. Yeah. You definitely.
I think Hanging Back's actually like slightly decent here, although Pack Rats.
Pack Rats
are pretty like mathematical in the sense that you can just be like, yes.
Yeah.
Hanging Back can never catch up because you just Pack Rat instead. You just, instead of playing something, you just Pack Rat, and now it's their 4/4s.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
The Hanging Back's actually not that good.
Yep. Seems fair.
And to
like hypothetically, if there was a mana floated there, it was a 2/2. He chump blocked one of them and he made 2 tokens, and
But he wouldn't be because it taps Hanging Back, so you can't make it a 2/2. A 2/2 and chump block.
So he still goes to 3 and he makes a 2/2, but then he dies anyway. So it's completely irrelevant.
And I'm actually not minding Tristan's play here because I suppose I still would have Hang It Backed, but I guess he's thinking I'm so far ahead. I'm also committed to Pack Rats. I just need to not die to something stupid.
Yep.
I don't know how many cards Jack's got in hand. They're off camera, but
that's hypothetically, let's say it has 3 cards and it reveals 2 of them.
Tristan identifies I can beat Hang It Back. I can beat Hang It Back. I might not be able to beat Unknown, and Metalworker is a bit more unknown.
Yep. Okay.
So I can definitely see his logic there.
Do you think of a different logic, which is make another Pack Rat token and just attack for even more and go so wide that if something does come down, it's
yep.
Potentially, I don't know. I don't think it's
even just because you can Pack Rat at the end of turn. Most people don't do it because they want the power, but you could even just hold it, see if it's going to get swept, and if it's going to get swept, obviously you don't make a Pack Rat and you keep your cards in hand. And if it's not going to get swept, but there's 3 chump blockers for some reason, then you go end of turn Pack Rat, untap Pack Rat. So maybe that's the correct play.
Yeah.
Because really you're only going to lose to sweepers or. I don't know, some amount of chump blockers, some mere battle sphere or something.
Basically, you're scared of Ugin. So Ugin comes down the next turn, it kills all the Pack Rats, and it's on a high loyalty, and then from that point you just never get back into the game.
Yeah.
And so maybe you do that, you just keep the Seize J in hand, and then when you go back to your turn, you're like Seize J Ugin, and then they are really far behind.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the play is.
I don't know.
There's logic to all 3 though, aren't there?
Oh yeah, for sure. These are all valid lines. So going to the sideboard again, it looks like Tristan is changing his sideboard on the draw, and I completely agree with that.
Are we talking duress maybe?
Yeah, so in these kind of matches,
although I still like duress, to be honest.
Well, if he wasn't so low on playable, so right now Wear, Tear, Duress, and Thoughtseize are basically the only things to even consider bringing in.
What about Containment Priest? Oh, it's non-token. I was thinking like Wormcoil Engine tokens and stuff, but it's non-token, isn't it?
And almost always is playing it from his hand. It only shuts off Tinker, and that's literally the only thing it shuts off. But
and even
sometimes
then,
can just lose
if you
to
go
Tinker.
Containment Priest in response to Tinker, then they just Tinker.
They
He's
just
not
Tinker
running
a-
Memory Jar, but
yeah.
you know, you Tinker like something that's
Yeah.
fine, like a 3-4
A
mana
non-creature.
Artifact, Crucible of Worlds, something like that, and it's not terrible. So yeah, probably not Tinker.
Not Priest, but his sideboard is definitely set up for the grind. Like if you look at all
His
the
main
cards,
board's set up for the grind as well.
Oh, his main board aggro, right?
Well, yeah, but he's
With
got
a little bit of grind. He's
he's
like
got
Cave
quite-
Command and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, maybe not the grind, but he's got quite a lot of good mid-range cards.
He's playing Goblin Guide, so he's aggressive. So there are cards like
I'm
say,
referring to-
Liliana Last Hope.
Yeah,
and
I'm referring to that, Colligan's,
they're
Zealous
just-
Persecution, GT.
They're just good cards.
Stoneforge. They are.
Like in aggro regardless. So, but what I do see is that his sideboard is basically the other half of his mid-range component. So he's got Liliana Dreadhorde General, he's got Attrition, he's got Phyrexian Arena, he has Kaya, he's also got Theatre of Horrors and Sword of Fire and
New
Ice.
Kai is good, I like that.
Yeah. So basically, his sideboard are all the mid-range cards where he can just pivot completely. Take out Goblin Guide et al., put in these mid-range cards, and he becomes a really, really dedicated mid-range deck.
Yeah, well, he's almost like, junk, except instead of having dorks for like a really good turn 2, skipping the curve, you skip the curve, but you get aggro. That's a good hand.
Yeah.
It's not
great.
Also a good hand.
Yep.
Thoughtseize.
So he's got Deathrite turn 1, turn
Yeah.
2 Kaya. And
Or turn 1
Kaya,
Thoughtseize if he's scared.
Yeah.
If he's a scared boy. Let's see how scared he is.
If you're on the... if they play Mishra's Workshop
Yeah,
and
I'm
you're on the
pretty
draw, you're
scared,
Thoughtseizing him. For sure. Kaya's not great here, but he's just put it in because, hey, there's just other bad cards.
It's a pretty good Thoughtseize. It might not be enough. What?
That's unexpected.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Makes total sense. Yeah. I was a little bit worried there for a moment.
I was like, that can't even cast Deathrite Charm.
Hanger back, bro, for 2.
Here we go. Back to back with the hanger snack. And who knows, let's just move on. Now we've got a Thoughtseize.
Here's a Thoughtseize. This is where the mana gets really cumbersome because you can't deploy Deathrite Shaman off the Sacred Foundry.
Again. I don't mind going Transmute Artifact on... Oh, wait. Hanger back gets you 0 mana of Transmute Artifact. So I don't love it.
Yeah, I think... Oh... Basically,
It's
I think
pretty
I hit
orkies.
Kuldotha Forge
I
Master.
agree.
Because...
It's the only thing he can cast if he hits a land.
Yeah,
right?
hits a land, plays Forge Master, and then the Forge Master can sack, along with another artifact, Hangerback Walker, which it can then sack again, because Hangerback Walker's got even more little Thopters that come out of it. The Forge Master is the thing I'm the most afraid of in that hand.
I agree. Maybe it's he's taken the Transmute, it's a bit more fear of the unknown.
Yep.
And maybe that's just like a knowledge of the deck. You see a deck like this, you lose turn 1 to Time Vault and all this other crazy stuff. And he's like,
so the fear is in you.
yeah, he's like, man, he could just go like Time Vault and then transmute some other random artifact for a Voltaic key, and I just lose like that. But he has got knowledge of the hands.
So we were just saying that Kaya Orzhov Usurper is not great here, right? It's insane.
You were saying that. Let's feel free to rewind and see if I said that.
I was just expecting
I can
Kaya
remember
was just gonna go
saying
up.
I can remember saying Kai is the best card I've ever seen before.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
That
remember
sounds
saying.
familiar.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That's pretty good.
Just Hangerback Walker. Wow.
What
It
is
wasn't
it's
strong.
what is the
It's the exile
power?
permanent. No,
Oh,
permanent.
CMC 1 or
CMC
less.
1 or less.
Yeah, it definitely hits Voltaic keys. And it hits Delver of Secrets.
Is this a burb? Is this like junk burb?
Ornithopter? What is that?
No.
Junkbird. I know Junkbird. How do I know Junkbird? When it dies, you get to return an artifact to your hand? From your graveyard to your hand? I think that's what it does. Or maybe it's an ETB.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's
Bird.
basically a burb, and it flies, and it's completely colourless. That's the most important part. So here we get Kaya going up.
Kaya is quite good versus graveyard hate as well. It's a good graveyard hate card. There's also a mid-range card. And it's not terrible against Rug Life.
Oh, yeah.
Because it can eat Delvers and Goblin Guides and Shamans and Grims and all sorts of nasty pasties.
Kills a lot of tokens and does a really weird impersonation of Liliana Last Hope at killing like Pyromancer tokens. That kind of stuff. A very bad impersonation of her, but still
and then it can also gain life as well as aggro. Because if you eat a creature, I think you gain life.
Yeah.
Getting Blackbait's another sweet card.
Yeah, this is a sweet new card that's basically a 3-mana 4/4 that's really hard to kill because I can't really kill it when it's in their turn because it's a Planeswalker, it's not a creature. And when it is in your turn, it gets protection from all the damage that could be dealt, so you can't lightning bolt it, or I can't even lightning bolt it anyway, but you can't just a strike equivalent of whatever's playable.
I can't exactly remember the text. Hopefully we'll get him up there, but he's good from memory. When I was testing with Tristan, it crushed me.
Yep, seems fair. So here's Kuldotha Forgemaster, and this is the thing that I was worried about before coming down and sacrificing Hangerback Walker tokens, but that's not going to happen now. So Kuldotha Forgemaster has lost a little bit of its power. However, it is a 3/5. 3/5 is really relevant.
It's definitely relevant. I mean, he can sack himself. Is there like a Blightsteel Colossus?
He might not even sack himself. He's just going to block Gideon Blackblade all day. So there's no reason to sack himself ever. It's just basically gaining him 4 life a turn.
The body's definitely relevant, although I think Tristan's in the driver's seat. But maybe Tristan would be a bit apprehensive because, again, Fear of the Unknown, you see an artifact deck like this, you see Mistress on the other side. It is Junk Diver is the card.
Junk Diver, yeah.
When Junk Diver is put into graveyard from play, return another artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And it's a 1/1, so Kaya can just exile it.
She can't do it because his...
it's CMC, right, okay. But regardless, Junk Burb is not doing much.
What do you do here? I just snap block this. Literally no thought about it. Because...
What is it? He's a 4/4?
Yeah, he's a 4/4. So Tristan thought so much about the turn. If he had a combat trick or a lightning bolt or anything else to finish off the Kuldotha Forgemaster, he wouldn't have thought so long. He would have just been like, turn this guy sideways.
Yeah, I mean, I like just asking the question, like, have you got it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, so Jack just took 4.
Yeah, I like blocks.
I definitely block. But there could be the case that we don't know Jack's hand, and Jack has the win in hand, in which case you never block. You just go, yeah, sure, I just take 4, because there's going to be no chance of any, repercussions here. Imagine Lily Last Hope getting played after and then minusing your Forgemaster and killing it would feel so bad.
Yeah, so what, he upticks to give Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible? Mm-hmm. So he's just given himself Indestructible?
No, he can't give himself, it's another.
Another, okay.
Yeah.
So he's given Deathroot Shaman Indestructible?
Yeah, Indestructible, sure. Why not?
As if it wasn't good enough already, Sarv.
OP.
Sophie, is that even the sideboard?
Yeah, that's in the board.
I guess it's pro blue. But I find Sophie's good at getting through, it's good versus control, because they don't have many blockers for it, and you get card advantage, and you ping annoying creatures.
With Tristan bringing in the Sophie and the Kaya and so on, he's made himself more mid-range, which I actively don't like. So I think you would just want to aggro your combo opponent, just go I'm just going to get you. Because becoming a mid-range deck...
plan.
Becoming a mid-range deck against a ramp deck, so this is, on the right is ramp with a combo sub-theme, but it's fundamentally ramp. Mid-range always loses to ramp, because ramp can out-ramp. Basically out mid-range. So becoming mid-range, you actually lose equity. So you want to be able to just Goblin Guide their face and just kill them really quickly, rather than try to outvalue them. They will always beat you in.
Yeah, but Tristan might not know how rampy it is versus how combo it is.
Yeah, he might think it's a combo.
We've got the list in front of us, but he might think it's a devoted combo deck. Even seeing the hand as it is, he's seen Transmute Artifact, Junk Bird, and Kuldotha. Kuldotha is a rampy card, but it's also a Search for Time Vault card.
So he protected Kaya by chump blocking with Stoneforge, and this keeps the Kaya around rather than it dying instantly.
So then he should have Indestructible with Stoneforge, I think, if he knew...
That's fair.
Or
no,
maybe
it's only in your turn. It's not across the turn.
Roger.
Yeah. So this is another tell. If Kaya is getting attacked, it's possible that Jack is thinking, oh no, like I've got a combo piece in hand, I don't want it to get exiled, like a voltaic key. And that's a tell. You kind of think, uh-oh, maybe they've got a combo piece in hand, that kind of thing.
Vigilant Deathrite Shaman? Vigilant, he's obviously not scared about the race, because...
Talk about a combo. Vigilant Deathrite Shaman
he doesn't want the life.
Well.
But, it's alright. I guess his life total is pretty stable, because he's got Kaya.
Well, you basically kill... You have the win next turn, because you have Deathrite Shaman drain, and because it was Vigilant, it was able to attack for 1 and also drain for 2, so it kind of attacks for 3 in total for that turn.
Sort
He's got... Sort of. And
at the end of the day, it's still only
talk about
for
Sword of Fire and Ice will also finish off the game next turn. So, like, he's definitely got... Tristan definitely has the win next turn.
Did he trigger the Sophie? Did he forget the Sophie trigger? Because that would have been 6, 7, 8, 9. Would have been 9 damage.
I think, regardless, whether he remembered it or not is moot. He definitely has lethal next turn without a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And if your opponent is chump blocking with Cordoth the Forge Master, you basically have lethal, Like, you've made their game plan go so far backwards that they're losing the one out, which was, say, spam a couple of tokens.
Tristan can definitely go wide between Shaman and Shambling Vent and Grim Lavamancer, as well as going all in with Sophie on the Gideon. So it's pretty easy, I think, for Tristan to find a win here.
Mana is being tracked here, so it's always scary.
Go Wormcoil Engine?
Upheaval. Right.
Does that return all permanents?
Right.
But no land has been played yet.
Right.
So you can go Mishra's,
and you've got
Grim Lavamancer, Kudaltha?
So he's got 1 floating mana for artifacts, so keep that in mind.
So counting that, you can play Mishra's.
Yep.
Have 4. Play
Grim Monolith.
Yeah.
And then play Kudaltha again.
Yep.
So all you want to do here is just like slam Psychotog, but sadly, sadly it is not the case, right? The Psychotog needs to be attacking. So here we go. Let's look at this mana getting used. So this is 4 artifact-based colourless mana. 2 of them being used on the Monolith. Grim Monorail. Let's have...
It's not unscary. Kudaltha Forge Master.
Oh, yeah. The Forge Master ready to sack the
3/5
Monolith
into an
next
empty
turn.
board,
Yeah, you make the 3/5, and then the next turn you're able to sacrifice the...
What?
Okay, so that means that he's got something scarier in hand. That means that in hand he might have like a 7-drop that he wants to play next turn.
But he had 2 floating anyway.
No, but he doesn't want to have the Monolith tapped because it won't untap. So next turn he's got a 7-drop. That's what I'm saying.
I guess so. Yeah, I'll play that.
Yeah. That's the only possible answer.
Mind you, it's pretty feels bad for Tristan, but at least he's got a lot of 1-drops, so he can try to keep that pressure going.
Oh, yeah. He has to discard a bunch of cards.
Upheaval was quite good. He's very far ahead.
Hmm.
But I think that's what you were saying about the mid-range of this aggro,
Yeah. You lose a lot of your free win equity.
Because you were saying I wouldn't side in Upheaval, because Upheaval's good versus mid-range, but it's not good versus aggro. Yeah. Tristan's aggro.
Correct.
But now, not only did Upheaval did get sided in, but Tristan went more mid-range, so...
Because it actively punished playing, sort of Fire and Ice and equipping it and all this kind of, like, really, really dirtily stuff.
Alrighty, here's the big 7 mana. What's he got? Mere Battlesphere.
Yeah.
Bang, calls it.
Literally there's a 7-drop in hand he wants to play. It was the only explanation for him not playing.
Well, I think we actually... Did we know about the Mere Battlesphere?
Did we? Maybe we did. So, no, that was maybe a different game where there was a Battlesphere. I think it was a previous game.
It's a pretty good 7-drop anyway.
Yeah. It seems
and it closes the game really quickly, and it goes wide as well.
Oh, yeah. It crunches in the red zone for a lot of damage.
This is a good game.
Oh, it's actually way tighter than it looked, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's like land Colligans or land of Braid,
yep,
like land of Braid, and then Jack can't swing the 4/1/1s into Shaman very easily, so any sort of artifact destruction actually works pretty well. Thanks.
Look at that. Jack recognising the patented Adelaide Eternal tokens, which can also be used to represent a Mir, a Spirit, a goblin, whatever you'd like them to represent.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
multi-purpose.
versatile.
By versatile, we mean they have at least 2 uses, because there's 2 sides. There's a white side and a blue side.
Yeah. So Goblin Guide here, and you can drain, untap, drain. It's not quite enough. It's 6, right? He untaps and
so he's on
takes
5.
Takes Jack to 1.
Jack's on 5, and then the next turn he goes to 1. So
Yeah.
it's not enough.
But you'd be dead by then, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's live to top deck Bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not Bolt. Bolt's gone.
Well, he's live to.
So he's live to top
Well,
deck.
I think he's also live to top deck Artifact, like a Braid, as I said, because that will get rid of the mere Battlesphere.
He's also live to top deck Zealous Persecution.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
By pretty good, we mean it's not going to win in the game, but it'll buy an extra turn.
I think it would.
Will it buy? If it buys an extra turn,
I think
that
it
would
would
get him. Yeah,
because then the
the Battlesphere is tapped, so he can attack for 4 with his 2 critters. The next turn he wins. So Zealous Persecution isn't out.
I think it is. Yeah,
Wow.
because you can no longer bolt the face.
No, sorry.
Because Battlesphere bolts face.
No, 3/5 comes down here, so it means it's a blocker, so he can't actually swing. So it means that it actually is the same number of turns.
No, it's Crack Clan Kraken works. If you've ever played
Release
Modern,
the Crack Clan. Is that what it is? Oh, why is that not a...
So this
not a
card
meme?
is from KCI Modern. It is KCI. You can sack an
Was?
artifact. It's still a deck, I think. But
Is it?
oh, maybe it's not. KCI got banned?
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't play Modern. I play Modern. Sarv doesn't. The point is, it sacrifices an artifact to get 2 mana. So you can sacrifice
So
that.
he has
monolith
access to a lot
that's
of mana.
Not doing much.
He has
Yes.
access to so much mana. He could play Hardcast Emrakul.
Mate,
here, right?
he could sack those
2,
tokens
4,
and play a
6,
really big thing
8,
like
10,
me
12,
Battlesphere.
14, 15. He has exactly Emrakul mana if he wants to sacrifice all his artifacts and literally hardcast Emrakul the Eon's Torn, take an extra turn, and then declare
He's
Annihilator
going
6
for it.
when he attacks.
This is you know, it's all in. It's better be better than 2/1s.
Ooh,
Antiquities.
that's good.
Of war.
That is definitely the win.
But he's using some of those, right?
Except you definitely do this after attacking, though, right?
I think so. You want
Because
to
if
want to
you
get those
attack-
triggers
If you attack, you just wanted to get that.
because you don't
extra
need to swing the
damage in.
1/1s. Mere Battlesphere lets you tap
Yeah.
to increase power of the big boy, and I think he doesn't have exactly that much mana. Did I miss something? He sacked 2 of the 1/1s to get 4 mana on Crack Clan Ironworks.
But he had to play 1 blue from his island, so he's
Yeah.
got 1 colourless mana floating.
Yeah, he hasn't taken off that colour's mana.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something.
Personally, I think you attack first. You get a bunch of damage in, like 12 damage or something like that, and then you sacrifice the Grim Monolith and
Yeah.
1 token.
That's right, because Monolith's not doing anything. Right?
Yeah, and then that way you have a massive board presence still. Ooh, this is the Mirage Mirror, the thing that goes infinite with Time Vault, allowing you to take infinite turns. But in this instance, it could copy a mere Battlesphere and just be a big thing. Like, it doesn't get any other ability. It's just going to be big, keyword big. Probably doesn't really actively do anything right now unless he's going to sacrifice a whole bunch of things and could do some crazy combo.
Yeah, I was hoping for something a bit more from Jack there when he went around, sacking all these tokens. I was like, this better be worth it, because you sort of almost got the win on board, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
attacking with the Battlesphere and tapping 4 tokens is huge.
It's massive, yeah.
Because then it makes you able to win the next turn if you...
Absolutely. And
you
then
want
you
to.
can go, like, after that, sure, like, sacrifice these things, or just play Crack Clan Ironworks and swing and pass, and then untap. And now if Tristan does something crazy good, you've got heaps of mana to play with. And you've still got your board.
Yep. Strong. Does Battlesphere has Trample, right?
No,
No,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't. Okay,
But it
so-
has Bolt Face,
Yeah.
equal
Yep.
to number of tapped men.
Yeah. So it's like... it represents 8 damage if unblocked, right?
Which represents 12.
12 damage, yeah. 12 damage if unblocked, but 8 damage if blocked.
No, 4 damage if blocked.
4 damage if blocked, that's
Yeah.
right. Because it's +1/+1 and 1 damage for each
Yeah.
of the thingos.
Yeah, so it's 12 damage total,
Yeah.
8 of which can be blocked.
Well, that out is no longer an out because
Yeah.
it's gone.
Let's move on.
mirrors
It's
are
done.
Gone.
Jack's gone. He's gone past
Gone
it.
rogue. Here we go. so,
I don't know this card, this mirror card. What is it?
so Mirage
Is it like
Mirror, you
sculpting
can
steel?
pay.
What is it?
You can pay 3 mana or 2 mana. You can make it a copy of a land or an artifact or a creature or something. So you can copy, say, Dark Depths, and it becomes a Dark Depths with no tokens, no counters on it. So therefore, it makes a Marit Large.
Right. How much does it cost to cast?
It's 3 to cast and 2 to activate, I think.
How does it go infinite with Time Vault?
So it becomes a copy of a Time Vault, and it is not tapped. Yeah. So this is a really sweet card.
Yeah, it's cool. I haven't seen it before.
I've been really, really hoping to brew around it at some point, but I've never got my...
What is it, new or something?
No, it's new-ish, as in like last 2 years, but I've never got around to it because artifacts are so fragile. They're just really, really fragile. Like, you get really, really busted turns. Like, look at the bustedness that he's been doing right now.
He's doing a lot of... I've sort of...
Then you get blown
zoned
out.
out on him. We got a 3/5, which he could have just cast, right? He could have just cast the 3/5. Let's be real. He's got a tapped thing that he got off the Antiquities. And he got the Crack Clan. I feel like you could just have tapped 5 mana, play Kuldotha. You'd be in the exact same position, except you'd have him on this. Not swing there is so, I think, absolutely incorrect. Like, swing 12 damage is huge.
I think maybe Jack's not planning around the fact that the 2 critters on board are bolters. They just go straight to the face rather than... Ooh. Oh! This is a Wear Tear Entwined fused. Oh my goodness. Gets the maximum possible value. That is good. Some thug life right there.
Because I was like gangster. Would you Wear Tear the Antiquities or would you Wear Tear something else? And he's gone,
why don't we have both of them? Yeah. Wow, that was brutal. Now, hypothetically, if the Mere Battlesphere had swung last turn, would it have been a blowout or not? Because he would have been able to be attacked for 2, which is a definitely relevant criteria. Because he would have had no blockers. And that's game. So that was what he was looking for. He wanted to just build up. So
Jack's thinking about the combo. He's thinking, I'm on 5 life.
Just want to survive.
I play Mere Battlesphere, get 5 chump blockers, and then I dig for the combo. That's his logic.
Yeah.
Which I can see that, but I think he got a bit, too...
Cute?
Well, I think he got a bit narrow-minded in his... he had this plan and he wanted to enact it instead of going, hang on, I can just
alternate
bash.
avenue of smashing base.
But it worked. It
definitely worked. That was really
even
really
through
sweet.
A blowout wear tear. Good wear tear.
I thought once the wear tear came down fused, I was like, nah, this game was over. Next minute, infinite combo.
Tunnel vision, not narrow-mindedness. Tunnel vision is the term I'd use.
Okay. So that was really sweet. It was awesome to watch, and hope you've enjoyed 2 games.
They were really good.
By Time Vault,
Love it.
Card that people have not been sleeving up recently because they believe it is too many points. It is a lot of points for this very reason. Check that out. Did you see just out of nowhere how harsh does that feel when you're on the receiving end of that? Your opponent just kind of wins and you're like,
You're having this great interactive game and then like, I just win now.
I got. That was sweet. All right. Well, that was round 1 of the Adelaide Eternal Highlander Challenge for May. We will see you in round 2 up next. Note that round 2 is mislabeled. It is in fact round 2, but we say round 1 at the beginning. So excuse us for that. And we'll catch you in the next round.